Moisture is the silent killer of 3D print quality, and most people don't even realize their filament's already soaked. Some of the most common problems encountered by new hobbyists in the world of 3D printing can be solved with dry filament. New automatic material systems are being released with built-in drying, but they don't work with every printer or material and can be expensive. The solution lies in dedicated filament drying, and with the help of Chitu Systems E1, I will explain why you should consider investing in a filament dryer. Chitu Systems reached out to me and offered to send me one of their E1 filament dryers. Chitu Systems makes lots of products from resin printers to PEI sheets to dryer solutions like the E1. Even though they did send this unit to me for free, they are not reviewing this video, and I will be giving my honest opinion about their dryer, both the good and the bad. Some of the most important features of the E1 include a 70°C max drying temp, 2-section independent heating, removable and storable boxes, a convenient touchscreen display, and humidity monitoring for each box. Before we dive deep into the E1, you may be wondering, why is drying filament important or necessary? Well, many 3D printing filaments are hygroscopic, meaning they soak up moisture from the surrounding air. Unfortunately, even a small amount of moisture in filament can cause print defects. Before we continue with the video, I want to give a quick shout out to this video's sponsor, PCBWay. While PCBWay is known for its PCB prototyping and assembly, they also offer tons of other manufacturing services. If you're like me and you love designing 3D printed parts, but don't have the capacity to run a giant print farm, PCBWay could be the manufacturing partner that you're looking for. They offer a comprehensive 3D printing service that includes FDM, SLA, SLS, and even metal 3D printing. Recently, I've been relying heavily on PCBWay for my CNC prototyping as well, and I finally have some parts to show you guys. I was working on updating one of my fidget slider designs so that I no longer have to use glue to assemble them, and I ordered these parts in brass with a smooth machining finish, and they showed up looking gorgeous. I just love how brass tarnishes over time, and with the finish I chose, this version of my Nux really stands out. Ordering parts on PCBWay is also really easy, and there are a ton of options to choose from. You can pick from tons of different materials for your CNC machine parts, such as 6061 aluminum, brass, copper, stainless steel, and even titanium. You can really tailor your order exactly how you need, from defining tight tolerances, threaded features, to part marking with laser engraving. After ordering, you also get to track your order progress, so you know exactly what stage your parts are in. I just want to say, I've now used PCBWay's services several times for personal parts and work parts, and I've been thoroughly impressed with the quality and speed of their manufacturing team. There are a ton of options for manufacturing services nowadays, but not many can compete with the turnaround times and the quality that PCBWay promises. Now, let's get back to the video. Wet filaments are more prone to warping, can cause excessive stringing and oozing, weaken layer adhesion, clog or jam your nozzle, and generally just lower the quality of your prints. I created this graph to help you guys visualize how moisture sensitive different filaments are. As you can see, PLA is not super sensitive and doesn't often need drying. So if you only print in PLA, a dryer is less necessary. As you go up in sensitivity, like with PETG, ABS, and ASA, you start to benefit more from having a dedicated dryer. I'd say as a rule of thumb that you should own a dryer if you plan to print in any material outside of PLA. Also, on the sides of each bar are some symptoms that each of these filaments will likely show if they are wet. I hope this kind of helps you guys visualize moisture sensitivity better per filament type. Drying can almost instantly make your prints come out cleaner and stronger. Nowadays, there are a ton of options for drying solutions. In my last video, I talked about Bambu's new AMS units and their drying functionality. Some AMS systems today now have drying baked in, so if you have a printer that works with them and your budget allows it, I think they can be a fantastic all-in-one solution. That being said, not every printer can use an AMS, and not every AMS can dry your filament. AMSs can also cost quite a bit more depending on the ecosystem you choose, so they may not always be within your budget. Storage and drying solutions like the E1 can also be more versatile for print shops, allowing you to dry when needed and store your rolls out of the way in controlled environments. Some people use resealable bags with desiccant pouches to store their filament, but I've always disliked this system. Organizing and labeling bags just isn't as clean of a solution in my opinion. You should also consider that AMS units are not fully compatible with all filament types. Most TPUs and certain carbon fiber filled filaments cannot be fed through AMSs. So for longer prints, filament dry boxes should be used to guarantee a clean result. At the time of this video, the E1 Filapartner is going to run you right around $140. I checked their website and Amazon, and they both have basically the same price. Now, I do think the E1 has some extra features that make it stand out among its competition. I really like that the dryer boxes are removable and modular. You can place them on top of the drying base when you need that functionality, and then neatly store them when your filament is not in use. These boxes are also vertically stackable and fully modular on top of the base, so you can orient them in different ways depending on your needs. I also really like the touchscreen display and the independent heating of each box. You can dry two completely different materials at the same time, making it really convenient for filaments with very different drying settings. This also makes the dryer pretty efficient, allowing you to choose how many spools you're drying at once. Like I mentioned before, this dryer can heat up to 70 degrees Celsius, which covers a wide variety of filaments, and it has a maximum drying time of 99.9 hours. On Chitu's website, they claim that their dryer heats from 25°C to 55°C in 12 minutes with 4 spools loaded, and while using it, I can definitely say that it gets hot quickly. The bins can switch from drying to storage using the magnetic baffle seals located on the bottom of each container. It also has drying presets according to filament types, and 4 customizable user presets for different combinations of drying temp and time. Overall, I think the system is really functional and intelligent, but there's always room for improvement. First, the touchscreen that they are using works, but you have to press pretty hard to make selections. So I'd like to see them use a more sensitive touchscreen in the future. Second, there's no gasket or seal between the lid and the body of the bin, and that might not seem like a big deal, but it definitely affects how well the system keeps out moisture. Adding a simple sealing gasket would go a long way towards maintaining a more stable, dry environment inside. Third, the desiccant cards. Right now, they're just those basic color-changing indicators, which work, but feel a little dated. Swapping them out for built-in digital humidity monitors would really elevate the experience. And honestly, there are plenty of cheap, accurate options out there that would be a solid upgrade. Lastly, my bin showed up with Chinese selected as the language, which is a simple fix, but worth noting as an improvement. I just want to say I really appreciate Chitu sending me the E1 for review and helping me make this video. Dry boxes are very versatile tools that I think every print shop should have, even if you own an AMS with drying capabilities. They're typically smaller, cheaper, and offer features that AMSs just can't. Specifically, I think dryers like the E1 that allow for drying and then convenient storage offer tons of value to print shops. If you're a hobbyist and you only own a couple of spools of filament, an AMS may be all you need. For enthusiasts like me that have dozens of spools, I'd highly recommend checking out the E1. I will leave an affiliate link to the E1 in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself and support the channel with a 10% commission. I really appreciate any support you guys can give. It enables me to make more videos just like this one. If you like this video or learned something new, please give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon so that you know when my next video drops. Also, leave a comment below with what filament dryer you use for your shop. All right, this has been Sam with Muxlo Makes. Thank you so much for watching.